Croeso sianel Blaid Llwyd. Yes, it's time to continue our Seeker's Saga as we return to Moonfire. And we're going to pick up in the middle of a chapter today because, thanks to a few technical issues, I had to re-record a huge chunk of the previous video, so I didn't get as much done, so we're going to try and make it to into the following chapter today. We'll see how it goes. But it's time to continue a journey. The warm comfort of the sweet root inn greets us once more. I'd like for us to leave tomorrow night. It's best we leave the fiends as soon as we can. Well, I could not decipher much within the ruins just yet. I'm sure there are creatures here that dealt with a few firsthand. Even the details they could share are small. Any bit to know a fiend's whereabouts or habits would surely be of aid. Just let me know when you're ready. It was not until I reached my rooms alone that I realized I did not find what I expected within the temple. It was all surreal, but none of it led to answers I truly need. It feels as though this world may have never been my own. But I do not know if I can live with that. So I just accept that the answer's not out there? I do not know. Not yet. I wake in the morning to no abrupt knocks on my door, just the peaceful, distant rumblings of morning creatures mingling and gathering down the hall. The tavern was not as filled as a popular night out, but definitely was not empty either. The sound of small chatter only covered by the occasional handmaiden dropping a cup behind the counter or setting plates at a nearby table. Until, that is, a sudden bang from the entrance door silences nearly everyone. We all look toward a lone figure. Weary-eyed and exhausted, he anxiously turns toward the door he's just barely slammed by accident. Too exhausted to look towards the others, he slumps down the nearest chair to himself. While most conversations slowly pick back up, an occasional few peek onward every so often, curious if a traveller looked foreign to a Sarah. Cora, Alakar and the others all stand by the counter, waiting patiently for the remaining party members to wake. Bags in hand and some weapons adorned to hips, they appeared ready to leave. Oh, hello. Sorry, I did not mean to damage your door. I hope I did not. The creature says softly, patting the dust that yet remained on his tunic from the cavern roads. Oh, hey, no worries. Did you just get into town? Yes, I did. Excuse me. He mumbles a bit, leaning forward to swing his bag from his shoulder and onto the table. He lets out a sigh after the bag thumps heavily with the clang of a traveller's burden. I just got in for Outer Asera. Oh, the desert? Is it truly as hot as they say? Cameyo leads the others to stand beside me, friendly and curious. Well, of course. It is exhausting. I don't know why I thought crossing the sands would be a great idea. I barely escaped with my life. Damn fiends. Did you come all this way by yourself? I left with the trader from Raven's Hollow. He wasn't so lucky. Which was at that point I hauled my tail here where it'd be safe. Why did you come here? Outer Asera was the closest point of safety, so I ran there. 2 fiends followed me, and thankfully the guards in Asera rushed out to help me. They said more and more fiends are found by the day. We should know more of them before leaving for the sands. I asked him about the fiends that attacked him and what he knew. Evil, incarnate they are. I never had a feral beast attack me such as those. They do not attack for food or survival. As though they seek to destroy, nothing else. The beast had wings the span of a wagon and a beak as big as a sword. It tore the other guy in two. Oh no. Yeah. Crafty looked down at his paws set on the table. He fidgeted for a moment, unsure what more to say. Well, that was myself, but a flying fiend seems all the more deadly. Oh, definitely. The beasts are hard to fight. They'll swoop down on you, but with hardly a body left their bones, you have little to aim for as they tear at you from the air. I lost my good spear too, trying to throw it up. The guards in our Tracera seemed well off with javelins and arrows. Anything to reach them from afar is the most effective. That would be the best way to handle them. Hopefully you'll be safer here. I'll take my time to rest up here. I think I'll take the passageway to head out, once I've searched the caves here for temples. Best we head off now. Everything's all Carly needs, so we don't have to go see for ourselves. Guess I'll look onward in curiosity as we return. May tells him what the travelling coyote had mentioned. A wait alone will suffice for Lavera's sake. We now know enough to approach the situation prepared, and that is good. We can stop in Apple to prepare and figure out the best move. In combat, knowing one's enemy is the first step. We'll do what we must to achieve the mission. Keep Cora and the others from harm's way. Fair and smart. Let us be off then. With the rest of everyone gathered, we leave Sarah. In our time away, Alakar was able to strike a deal with the tavern owner, who gave him several torches for a safe return through the passageway. To do, but should maybe concentrate on going where we're going. The bandits there, and we can see about these fiends. I think is where we should go next. Pavo. What if my friend is in town? You might get a chance to see. Hopefully we can find what we can here before we set for the Sarah Sands. What are we looking for? Well, this job might be less for me and more for the knight and guards. We intend to figure out how to approach the Fiends, while also keeping Cora and Alakar safe. And Fendu. I'm coming with. Not safe. I'd like to meet the people of Abo, but we should all go together. We need you among the people. The reason you came along, Alakar. Well, the deserts are dangerous nonetheless, and not fit for a prince. I know they're not safe. I am prepared to face that. What I say stands. Let's just head to the town square. We can find out what to do from there. Sure. Abo is that of a miniature haven hearth. All walks of life seem to gather here as well, sharing every manner of tools, food and gossip. Calm winds wisp through the trees, carrying with the crisp air of Russian riverside shared with the charming songs of summer birds. If there's anything to make me not desire a trudge of the Sarah Sands, this was it. Small streams converge from the main river, splashing the planks for nearby watermills, the river thinned through the hills. A consistent grinding of stone gears bellowed alongside the banging of wooden hatches. The mill was distant enough that the repetition of the noise was soothing and sounded like the ambience of the market stalls and barks of distant city dogs. As we stepped within the centre of the town square, it was nearly what I could expect. It was greeted with a pleasant surprise still. A younger fox carrying a basket of linens smiled as she saw me, before shyly glancing into the walkways and carrying on with her day. Something I realised I'd not experienced within Haven. While many still stared at us, and understandably so, the lifestyle here felt a tone more welcoming. Alright, so, where do we even begin? It was a long road for me, and I feel my legs sore. I'm not used to this much walking in a single day. The day is nice for it, thankfully. I may have a short rest for you, Cameyo? A pleasant idea. And food. Food is a great partner for rest. I concur. A rest is necessary, but be prepared to move in short time. If we can gather intel and observe the Fiends all in a day, then better rest awaits in Haven. Oh, come on, Carly, lighten up a bit. Perhaps. There's much work to do here and in Haven. Cora smiles, observing the two a moment before speaking. Soma, Annika, why don't you guys take Fender and the others to rest a bit near the inn? I'm sure Carly and I can walk the square and see if there's anything useful to glean from it. Geraint. Yes? Why don't you rest as well? You've been through a lot, with the Divines and all. Your energy and attention will be best kept to Sarah Sands. Fair enough. Right, or whatever you'd like, really. We'll all gather back in the square shortly. The first time in that moment, no one was directly beside me. A few of the party took to the nearby inn with Alucard, while the rest gathered with Cora, Mayo, and the others. I leaned against an empty trader stand and glanced over my surroundings to the square with a more concentrated view. A merchant not far off shooed a kid out from his stall with a final shout. These are not toys, lad. This is a stall for adventurers. I merely chuckled a bit, before panning my view to a peculiar feline standing beside that of a more petite stature of a purple wolf. Their fur colours were vibrant, things what embellished my attention to begin with, as they laughed together. The creature, in the midst of his joyous moment, looked up at me. I gave no reaction as his attention was grabbed quick and effortlessly by his companion once more. Beyond the stalls and busy creatures, I saw Alucard and Cameyo still in view as the inn was just down the road. Several tables and chairs lined the sides of the cobblestone road in which they sat and played a deck of cards. Of course, a mug rasped in Cameyo's paws as he held the refreshment up in a cheers to me once he noticed us not far off. I approached a trader, who not long ago shooed a nuisance from blocking his customers. He smiled warmly, changing his demeanour the moment he saw me. Ah, Dalona Knight, pleasant trace to see on my hometown. What brings you here? Just stopping by before we head into the desert. Ah, well, this is the most important stop you could make in Apple, mate. Supplies to get you the heat and some potions to get you through trouble. It is as much a sales pitch as it is in earnest. Some Raven Knights just got into town talking about some ghastly fiends. Well, it is appreciated, thank you. Good news to hear. Well, I never seen a beast such as they say. I'm glad I chose not to be a traveller. I was this close, you know. He holds his fingers up, with his pointer about a pea's length from touching his thumb. I'm getting surprised you want a more comfortable trip through the desert. Some supplies would be a good idea. Maybe we should get the one. A good choice to get those. We don't have enough money for anything else, so that would be good. You have on the sands, knight. Thank you, I say before heading back to the town square. By the time I crossed the street and headed to the inn, Alucard sat alone. With his deck of cards tied neatly with a thin silk thread, he smiled at my approach. Hey, Geraint, you may have just left to get another drink. He beckons the empty seat across from him. I must say, I hardly remember Avo, if at all, from when I was a kid. Vesna took us through, though I can't even remember for why. He chuckles to himself for a moment. Cora ran off down the street, singing with a group of locals. She got in a lot of trouble for that. I noticed the locals seem friendlier here. Oh, in a sense, huh? Alucard nods. That is why I must travel more, Geraint, and why we must go to Rixlian and Zemia here soon. Look what I found not 2 minutes into being here, and only at that stall over there. He points behind him before holding up his newfound deck of playing cards. They look nice. Agreed. I'm mostly fond of the ribbon. It is surprisingly soft and well done, almost as well as the tailors from Haven. Although I feel I am not the best with card games, though. Would you care to play a game of dice instead, while I wait for my soup to cook? I can tell you how to play if you haven't yet. I prefer a friendly wager if you're up to it. Always gives a game a bit of an edge to it. We'll do 5. The roll. Oh, 20. Okay, we are definitely finishing. Let's see how we do. Definitely roll again. Ooh. I think we should go for the draw. Yeah, I don't think it's safe to over. Let's try another roll. Oh, by 1. Nothing's roll again. You will draw again. Chance of getting 2 1s there were just so slim it wasn't worth it. Let's finish there. One. Okay. Nice. All we have to do is roll once. We've got the round. Yeah, I could try an extra point, but I think it's worth it. Let's try again. Oh. We really have to roll again. We're going to either win or lose. So if I don't roll, we'll definitely lose. Oh, nice. 21. Okay, let's see if we can win this contest. Get some more gold. 6. Oh, I won again. Okay, it's all down to this one. He's going to win this. Might as well roll. Lost. I won. Oh, that was fun. I'll have one more Geraint if you want. I think we'll pass it there, don't we? We can afford to lose any more gold. Oh, you know me, I love to talk about other countries. What are you curious about? Have you been to Rixlian before? Sadly, no, but many talk about Ridden Haven, and I dream of it often. I may have said one too many a time, but I cannot travel enough. When I was a teen, they kept me in Haven. I feel like such an outsider even in a town like Abo, which will soon be part of my jurisdiction when I become king. That thought alone feels wrong to me in a way. It's part of Malentia, but I know so little of it. That explains why he wants to go. As the handmaiden passed, Alucard flagged her down and ordered soup on my behalf. We waited eagerly for our meals until they swiftly arrived by way of a servant boy. And here you are, sir. Brussels sprout stew. Oh, thank you much. My friend here and I were just talking about Abo. Do you like it here? Oh, it's a decent place, sure. I'm not originally from here. In fact, it's my first week here at the inn. Don't let me keep you though, sir. Let me know if there's anything else I can get you. Enjoy. Sprout stew. He norms a steaming bite little more than the wave of his wooden spoon in the air to cool it. I'd say they could have cooked the sprouts a bit more, but it is good indeed. I nodded in slight content of my food, although the heat kept me from enjoying it rather quickly. Hardly a half-empty bowl, I could hear a shuffle of people flurry past. I don't know if there's their hurried walk or the shifting mood that lay across their face. I felt an instant pain of anxiety. Alucard, with a mouthful as he chews, leans to the side and gazes past me. What is it? I say, turning around in my chair. Down the street and past the square, I see a large group slowly making their way towards us. The townsfolk step aside. Some move out of the way, others turn around completely, so they realise the street was no longer the path they needed to take. It was only a small crew, 7 or so creatures. Their snarls and glares made any creature shudder. Their looks did not fear me. I just wanted to understand the reason behind their conviction. Soma. Alucard tilts his head to carry his voice inside the inn where Soma and Cameyo should still be. 2 of his guards had stood outside and nearby, their attention on us the second they heard a tone in his voice. It was not until the grumpy crew was but a house length or so away I knew absolutely their destination was our table and nowhere else. Alucard figured the same as he promptly stood to speak as they drew near. Excuse me, gentle creatures. I assume this table perhaps be yours? I did not mean to take it, as I thought it was empty when I arrived. That is not why we are here. Oh. We want answers. The two beasts stood in front of the others, as some held their arms folded with heavy scowls across their face. About, if I may glean some sort of context, perhaps I may help. Don't play coy. The first stands close with a sharp sneer. The royal guard nearby does the same, slamming their glaive into the dirt below. Stay your distance. To even lay a single hand on Prince Alucard will leave you without hands. Why does Lavera treat us this way? Why should she not deal with the Damascens? Treat you how? She has everything she can, and the Damascens are being dealt with by the Raven Knights and herself whenever possible. Donkey shit, that is. Damascen outlaws and scum of the forest be raiding and stealing things from the farmers, pillaging those with no weapons to defend themselves. You should be doing something. Go to all those bastards, kicking back into their lands. Look, I can see you're visibly upset. We are doing what we can. Currently, you're set to investigate some fiends, which may pose an even bigger threat. I don't care about a petty beast with claws. I ain't wild animals. They're no different, I bet. Do something with the Damascens, or we'll do it ourselves. I turned to see Amber stepping from the tavern. She held her paw over the hilt of her sheathed blade, holding a shield strapped to her other arm like she normally would before travelling. She stared down the creatures all the while. And who's you supposed to be? I'm about to be your problem. And I could say the same to you. You don't seem friendly to the rest of Abo either. She nodded the rest of the square is now nearly empty, but a few brave or perhaps foolishly curious onlookers. You better not be Culven. Yeah. The rat tilts his head back in a sarcastic expression. No, but I wish. They'd run Malente better than Lavera. Yeah, levies are too damn much anyway. I'm sorry, but Lavera does not set those. Those are paid your lord within Avo. You mocking me now? Yeah, we have no charisma here. He's just trying to help. That's all he keeps saying, but I don't see it. I tried to reach the Lord of Avo through his stupid magistrate, but no word back for days. The creature pointed his finger to Alucard. He is here now and should help the people of Malentia. The guard shifted his shoulders, a paws tightened on the grips of a weapon. I see among the bystanders watching some muttered a soft yes, while many others shook their heads in discontent towards the rest. Could try something. I stand up from my seat and glare down the creature. Oh, and that one. You should back off from Alucard before something happens. What? Is anyone going to just chop down Avo citizens in his own streets? If the cow breaks one of the biggest laws, then yes, punishment will be executed. Oh, look, I'll take this up with Lavera. We're in talks with Damascus. We'll get it all figured out. The creature rolls his eyes. I'm tired of the crown's empty promises. I approached the creature and placed my hand on his shoulder. Much better roll. Look around. Everyone here is Malenthian. The rat looked calm at first, but I could tell he was lost in thought for a moment before something within him seemed to boil. Don't touch me. He slaps my hand out of the way and goes to turn around. But as he does so, he stops to poke Alucard's chest in a degrading fashion. You guys better meet. His eyes widen in horror, smote the gate for a silent second. With the quickest fell swoop I've ever seen the guard make yet, the glaive she held was now blade deep in the ground in front of the creature. He held his wrist with his only free hand, the other was now lying detached on the ground. He rolled his head back and screamed in pain. Everything that followed happened so fast. I felt myself an observer for mere seconds, able to respond as quickly as the others. The guard, unready for retaliation, was instantly shut by one of the scoundrels. She half falls against our table, grounded Alucard's mug and smashing it against the scoundrel's snout. Knight Amber beside me leapt fiercely into a group of them, cutting one down as they drew their daggers. Clashing of swords and angry grunts of confrontation erupts through the streets of Abo. Soma, who I had not seen this entire time, really leapt from the inn doorway, standing guard between Alucard and the others. As soon as it all started, it discontinued with the screams of bystanders who looked and pointed to the dead scoundrel by Amber's feet. Blood pooled across the ground and seeped into the cracks of the cobblestones. The other creatures put up their swords defensively as they back away, some holding tight to the fresh cuts of their wounds. The creature who instigated the madness wept on his knees. Off you go, you're fine. He kneels down to help his friend. They glare, words as they leave in the area to save their own hides. Want me to go after them? No need. The punishment was clear. He'd lose his hand and he paid. Any other law can be taken up by the Abo guards. Are you hurt? I hear Amber approaching one of the other guards. He was bending over, covering a piece of his armour that was covered in red. A little bit, he grunts. Let us get you to the surgeon. She offers her hand, but the guard raises his own in declination. I can head over there, thank you. He stumbles off, accompanied by another royal guard. Well then. Alucard fixes the position of his table and chair before plopping down, letting out the biggest sigh. I wish that went differently. He didn't take the warning seriously. That is on him. True, but still. Alucard? Cora, Carl, and the others approach bewildered. Are you guys okay? What happened? We are okay. Thanks to our guards and Knight Amber. I just don't know what I was hired for, you know. She chuckles casually. I did not mean to land those hits like that. Heat of the moment and all. Any smart creature would not draw their swords to arm guards. That was on them. Fair enough. I'll try not to fret. I'm just glad everyone is okay. We took the time to wind down from the confrontation. Felt uneasy how things played out, but surprised to see some of the other civilians of Abo approach us, some apologising on the scoundrels' behalf, while others thanked the guards for giving them what they deserved. It still needs to stay much longer. Callie stands by the table, gathering remaining party members. Until things are ordered, protecting those that cannot go into the desert and the information we have on the Fiends. I will not be staying in Abo. Although those creatures may have been an irregular one-off event, I still feel it unwise. Agreed. I think you all should come with. We should be safe with our advancement through the sands. At least with the Fiends, we figured some things out in the Sarah. We'll be able to prepare for those that can also fly, so I made sure to gather extra spears and arrows for the guards. It should prove useful if any undesired events happen there as well. We should advance with absolute awareness. It's better we live and know nothing than to die trying. Well, as we're off then, so you're not forced to head back in the dark. It was not long before the green hillsides were replaced by flatter plains, fitted with a few patches of bushes dotted alongside the valley. Even that did not last, however. The hard, solid ground below gradually faded to more loose dust that flicked easily in an occasional gust of wind. The trail we took, once visible within ruts of constant wagons and travellers, now faded into malleable sands. We stopped for a moment as I noticed Cora reach her right hand to her left elbow, holding herself slightly. The others stared off to a single post standing desolate and alone a few dozen metres out. I could not make out the significance. They all wore a face of concern. The wooden shaft looked not much more than just a regular fence post, with divots on opposite sides. Once we neared, I could see only a few symbols I recognised in the architecture of Sarah, but no other features stood out on the post. Cora beckoned the royal guards, which took two of them to grasp me the rivets and pull the wooden pillar free from the ground. The pole itself bore no significance to my initial perception. Cora read that upon my face. She spoke an answer fitting so. The Sarah Sandmark. It was the boundary between Sarah and the rest of Melanthia. The past few years it has slowly been expanding. I observed beside her as Carly walks a straight path from the old post location to the very edge of the sands, counting his footsteps and marking them on a parchment slip. Besides him, the guards slammed the post down to its new home. So what is the full plan? Observe the Fiends. I don't want Fender to be getting too close, though. I'll be fine. I know, Fender, not this time. We could stay in Old Castle and meet there when you guys are finished. That is not too bad an idea, honestly. We shall not trek far into the sands and can arrive before the night. Soma, can you take some of the guards with you and keep Alucard and Cora safe? Yeah, gladly. I want to go further into the sands. We've already discussed this. It is too dangerous. But before Alucard could finish, I see Soma place a hand on his shoulder. Think of it like this, Alucard. This isn't about you nor Kali. You are to be king when Novella gives her throne. All of Melanthia's hope will be gone if they were to lose you, not but a fortnight behind your father's passing. What's in Oldcastle? Oldcastle is a fortress set up long ago, just before the Damaskian Divide. It's where Melanthians first held up against Damaskian, prior to pushing them back beyond the forest of Fae. As of now, it is primarily abandoned, used only for travellers and Raven Knights at rest on the road. How far into the sands are we planning on going? Just until we can spot some fiends and observe their patterns. Hopefully remain hidden so I can note their behaviour. Then we can leave. Fine, I'll stay at Oldcastle. Just don't be long. Would you prefer I stay with the knights? I feel they should be fine, no? They could use all the blades at their disposal, just in case. You are sure? Cora nods softly. When the party settle, they take the lead to Oldcastle. Let it be swift. The seat the sand gives off my talons isn't comfortable. I'd fly if I was able. The sands were barren, and while the flat plains now turned to dunes, every climb felt like the last one I could make as the heat battered down upon us. Oh, Chapantless clothes and no hood. What was I thinking? Cameyo pants, lifting his water skin to his mouth. Oh, well, I'm out of water? Well, I did not think we'd be out for this long. This surpasses my expectations. I apologise for that. I've been through before. I told you in the square we should have brought more supplies. I don't need to be reprimanded on my comments. If I was alone, I'd be fine. But you travel slow and thus making it harder on us. Difficult decision. I should use them now. Nothing but sand stood for countless miles. Rocks dotted the wasteland and far beyond, the edges of the horizon. I could see cliff-like mountains shearing up from the ground below. I felt as though nothing inhabited this place. All the places I've been. I know for sure this place is not the one for me. No plants, no greenery, only sand. I should have gone with Cora. Beyond sand and dunes, a small formation of a makeshift structure poked out from beyond the hill ahead. As we crested it, I could see the formation ahead to be a tarpaulin attached to a wood structure. A half-set tent made for shade from the heat. We eagerly approached, settling into the structure as everyone took the last sips of their water. Well, we'll have to go farther than this. Exhaustion heavily beseeches the party. What do you think set this up? Where are they now? A good question. Strange to take all this stuff but leave the top. Carly points around to the vacant open area of the shade. Nothing but an empty crate and sand covered the floor. No says they took anything. We turn to Mayo, who kicks a pile of sand in the corner. A thud of something underneath shakes at her foot as all the sand covering it topples off the sides, revealing a narrow wooden chest beneath. Carly leans over it curiously. Intriguing. It is engraved with the Damaskian insignia. I wonder if the scout crew is spotted near Abo. What are they doing way out here? Likewise, I would have figured they'd make their way to near Haven. And that? Carly points to what looked like a pile of rocks near the bottom of the hill. What is that down there? No, not rocks. It's hard to tell in any manner. They're oddly shaped with sands that flowed over them and through the cracks of the objects. Only a few steps forward, with a squint of her eyes, Mayo could make out what it was. The bodies of the scouts. Most likely mangled by the Fiends. Ominous, familiar cries of the beasts in the distance precede Cameyo's gasp. With closer inspection, I could make out the half-decayed bodies. The majority of their limbs and torso were formed into the sands themselves. I choked on the dust that flew in my face, fearing how much of it was from the desert itself, while the rest was surely from the bodies of the fallen. Everyone, down. We collectively crouched in sudden matter. Carly looks on with intrigue, a parchment in hand snatched from his bag. The valley of sands below stretched for only a mile before a disruption of jutted rocks and hills interfered in the landscape. Yet the sound of the cries came from the valley itself. Not become apparent at first, the pile of rocks beyond surrounded what looked like a crevice in the sands below. It was not until two fiends crawled out from the crevice itself we realised it to be a cave among the ground. Furiously, Carly jotted notes. The rest of the party looked on in uncomfortable silence. These two fiends themselves, just like how the traveller described the flying ones too, with upper bodies of large wings and beaks nearly half the size of a man. Like the fiends before them, their bodies were covered only in bones and grit, the entire lower half nearly completely missing. The beasts, more resembling that of demons, cried out to the desert in bone-trembling shrills. They crawled to the top of the rocks with their grotesque talons, before leaping from the edge to flap their wings and take to the skies. How much more do you need? She utters under her breath, implying towards the notes Carly shakily takes. I'm sure. I wish I could get closer, yet I fear if I do. Shh. Absolute silence befell us in the environment, for a flurry of chaos erupted around us. The beasts flew down from the skies, their eyes set on us. We did not hide as well as I thought we could, as one tears through the tarp. The structure rips from the ground, with the power of the beast's wings, flicks enough sand and dust up as wildly as the severe storm would. Ready your weapon, creatures! Carly shouts to the guards. The guards, ready at hand, wield their spears and pull their bows and the straps on their backs. Their hands tremble on the grips of the weapons, but hope in unison our larger numbers will be the means to survival. With no shelter now above our heads, the two demons circle the skies above us, swooping down with a fierce, unprovoked rage. All of us stood with weapons drawn, swiping as they'd near. I could see within the beast's eyes its next attack was solely for me. It swooped down with wings that spanned the entire party. We definitely don't think it's a high DC. I don't know what this DC is. I think our best bet right now with our health is just trying to roll out the way. I ready myself as the beast nears and I roll through the sand, dodging the blows as the slash of the beast passing. Cameyo jabs at the sky with his spear as the second beast passes over. That's one. I hope there are not more nearby. Maintain composure. Unleash your arrows as soon as you knock them, Carly shouts to the guards. I cannot dodge them all. I notice my own grip waver on my sword, feel the pulse of the tree tear within it. I wanted to use the stone as quickly as possible. I feel if I wasted all of it now, how much of a dire need would it leave us if we cannot finish both of them soon? If I could use any of it, I could try something minor, throw it off balance perhaps. Let's try and throw it off balance. No, we can't. Okay, let's try swinging as it goes again. I try and attempt to slash the beast's ears yet again. Oh, and of course, fail horribly. Exhausted, my attempt misses. The beast pecks viciously at my arms. An instant gash flows down my arm and spatters of blood spraying my face. The first fiend spirals from the air, exhausted from battle as it collapses in the sands with a thud. The guards crouch in premature shouts of victory, just as the beast rears its head up again. It holds itself up with its wings, or clawing its way towards us. The demonic head of the beast wavered, its body filled with arrows, yet it continued on. Kill it! One of the guards, with her arm already propped back, hurls a spear through the air. It whisks beyond, splitting the air before sinking into the demon's neck. It falls still in the sands with no cry left to escape its horrid beak. The second beast cries out for its fallen companion. The guards brace as it dives towards us once more, but deceives their manoeuvres by quickly changing course and flying off over the hills, now out of sight. Once gone and silence befell the chaos around us, did many of the guards collapse on the ground to catch their breath. Some, drenched in sweat within their armour, ripped their helmets off to gasp in the dry air. Without a moment's respite, Carly began to speak to the others as he dusted himself off. "Rest up if you can. I'm going to take some samples from the beast. We should head out as quickly as possible." As we wait on Carly, I pick through the remains of the Damascene camp. Within the chest laid several pieces of gold. That's good, we need that potion. Hidden among the sand that half devoured the tattered chest was an additional 15 gold pieces. Could have rolled better, but never mind. It did not take Carly long, as he ripped through the fiend's feathers and sliced at its flesh with the small blade he carried. Quickly, he placed the samples within the separate pouch he carried before returning to the rest of us. Not a single one of us hesitated as we stood, heading out of the sands as fast as we could. We're off to Oldcastle. Maybe we can take a long rest and get some health back. Exhaustion, what I felt with each passing moment, hardly wavered as the sight of Oldcastle lay before us. I expected a thought of respite, creatures and safety. Yet the feelings slowly encroached upon me. I could feel them in the air. The rest of the crew stayed quiet. On our approach, the castle in the valley was everything except what I anticipated. The walls ahead lay barren and crumbled. Repercussion of the weather consistently battered them. While the sun behind us slowly inched to dusk, I could see no flags flying above. No lanterns or candlelight could be seen within the windows. The tower above the castle, worn with age, hardly stood with bricks missing and creeping vines that crawled along its base. "They are here, no?" Maeve spoke the words many of us worried, so we looked onwards to a hanging gate that lay open and empty. We cautiously looked into the entrance, as the remaining guards in our party slowly drew their swords. Carly stopped us in the centre of the courtyard. No trace could be seen of a camp, except a few baskets near a hut with a tarp that was scorched to embers. What was left hung flapping ominously in the breeze. "Cameyo," Carly muttered softly. Without further command she nods, drawing her daggers and creeping behind one of the huts. Carly held his hand up to the rest of us as we waited, unnervingly observing Mayo scout ahead. She peeks into a window of the hut before turning to us and shaking her head. "What is it?" he half whispers, half calls out to her. She sheathes her weapons and shrugs for a call is made from within the building, and the door of the hut swings wide open. "Cameyo, everyone!" Anakar calls from the hut as he steps outside. "My husband, are you okay? What is wrong with you?" From the hut steps Alakar, Cora, and a few of the others. "Oh, it's you." He turns to the scorched tarps in the empty courtyard. "Oh, that." Anakar places his palm to the side of his head, chuckling from a nervous embarrassment. "Where are the burn marks?" "I was trying to teach Alakar how to use the treat here. It seems my skills are better fit for the throne." "Where's everyone else?" "Oh, they're inside. Why are you guys so worried?" She looks onto the party, concern setting in as she notices the weary eyes of the crew and the blood-stained linens under their armour. "We try to keep a low profile while you're away. We didn't want to light any candles until you returned, just to be safe." That makes sense. So everything is okay here?" "Yes, Carly. Come, step inside so we can get everyone taken care of." She holds the door to the hut, allowing everyone through. "Now get some rest. I can tell you've all been through a lot." looks like the majority of our work is done for now, Lunar Knight. If there are any stops you want to make on our way back to Havenhearth, now would be the time. Otherwise, I should make do for Haven as soon as we can to report back to Lavera. We should definitely try and check out these bandits before we go back. Looks like we're supposed to be dealing with them. After a long walk through the thickets, we came to a widened path through the trees. Near the end of the path, I saw a small camp partially set up. At first glance, I could see no one. There, in the trees. Hide. Before I could spot anything, I was tugged aside as our group hid behind a stack of chopped wood and logs. Oh, I can't believe Adoka disappeared. Do you think he's killed? That all, is it? Nah, impossible. Cameyo would be ruined without him. I'm not so sure, Norwin. Those Haven people. Sometimes I'd be wondering if we're doing the right thing. Cameyo clutches his spear, speaking in a nervous whisper. Well, those are bandits. What do we do? We deal with them. Hush. Let's see if we can learn some more about them. I stay quiet as the group does the same. Made it. I'm not doing this for you again. Go cut wood or something. I'm only saying, Tamar and the Culvens. Sure, it's good in theory. Now we're just handing stock from Atlanteans. See us as bandits now, Norwin. I didn't sign up for this. Whatever. You're weak. Always worrying. What happens if it comes down to me or you? It's going to cause problems. What does that mean? You have no balls. I need to say it louder. The others already left the camp. We're supposed to be cleaning up and you're over here crying. Screw you. I'll bark and no bite. So scary. Oh. Decay upon you. You're the problem. You're stupid. That's why you don't worry about shit. What the hell? You're really going to... Yeah. Behind the stack of wood, I hear the grunt of one of the bandits following a rustle of leaves and sticks. Then, thud. All was quiet. I show you, bad idiot. Decay him with all this crap. The crunch of leaves fades behind the logs. We decide to wait another minute, listening to only the silence that follows for several moments just to be safe. Slowly, Mayo peeks out from the logs. Well, that took care of itself, she smirks. What? We stand and look beyond to see a bandit lying on the ground. A large branch sat nearby and a stream of blood flowing from a gash in his head. He was definitely done for. Let's check the camp, make sure they really left. We slowly approach a camp down the path. Several spots lay cleared in the dirt below, with piles of twigs and leaves pushed aside. A shallow indent of perfect squares lay around a single tent, and a few scattered belongings. The majority of whoever was here has clearly left. Looks like they already left. A light campfire sat mostly in ash, partially burned wood left in the edges of the pit. No smoke or flames danced from the embers that remained. Nearby, a peculiar bag lay open with the contents spilled across the dirt. The bag itself looked too pristine to be from bandits. I rummaged through the belongings, or what little was left. The bag seemed strange. The items from within were not what you'd expect for bandits to have. Several items of brushes and inkwells spilled on the ground, covered in dirt. He pulled out a small hammer, strange scrolls and maps from Melanthia. Some etches of ink pointed to random mountains with questionable markings and arrows from a single time written... Point of interest? Well, they're looking for something. I'm not too sure, but something about those two bandits doesn't scream explorer. Whatever these markings are for. They're most likely stolen goods. Nothing of interest was left in the bag save for a few coins and a single piece of paper, crumbled into a small front pocket. Thank the heavens that Sal found the funds in the budget to send Lena off. I couldn't take another season of her constant henpecking and conspiracy theories. She even tried lecturing me of all people. I told her it was already done, that she was scheduled to leave in a few days' time. She then became even more irritated than usual, jumping about and putting her claws in my clothes. She even shed all over my coat. If there really was such an ancient city, what makes her think that we wouldn't have found it by now? These graduates are far too hungry for adventure to do what we need them for, and that's the real challenging work of studying and cataloguing. I'll let her get this fancy out of her system for a few months. I can finally have some peace and quiet. Of course, it means we won't be getting those new chairs for our department after all. Police is a quiet sort of pain in the ass. A welcome reprieve, if you ask me. Dr. Marilyn. Wonder who or what this letter is related to. Looks like we did all we needed to here. Let's head out. Back out to Haven Hearth. Yep, we've done everything we need to, so we can head back. A sudden feeling of comfort and safety washed over the party as we arrived at the outskirts of Haven. Trader carts creaked along the dusty road filled with goods, and the kids shouted from the back, pointing towards the hefty walls and city landscape before them. Near the gates, the guards bowed welcome to Prince Alikar and the rest of us. Oh, I enjoyed being out. It is pleasant to be home again. Good night, and now me and Alikar return to Queen Navera and offer a briefing of our tasks. With the evening waiting, I'm sure she'd appreciate a lesser crowd. Come the morn tomorrow. I'd like to see you in the hall where we should have more tasks available. I nod to Kali. With Alikar and Kali split into the castle, the rest of us take our leave, head into the sanctuary. The inn welcomes us with the sounds of overly delighted chatter and the clinking of wooden tankards. The smells of sweet-scented candles and freshly stained oak tables fill the dimly lit room, creating an atmosphere of familiarity and lays. In a strange sense, I felt the most relaxed in Haven Hearth, so this could be my classification for home, or at least something close to it. The innkeeper, with face of recognition, gives a polite and welcoming wave to me. We gather near the front counter where a half-sleepy wolf rests his chin on his hand, propped up by his elbow on the counter. He wore simple garments and a pristine, well-kept lute hung on a strap over his back. A finely embellished hilt of a dagger strapped tight to his hip, with blade hidden in the fine leather sheath. Aside from the lute is the only piece of intrigue that stood out among his otherwise simple, effortlessly attire. In a typical and curious fashion, Fenrir instantly approached him. Oh, what is that? He points to the lute on his back. This? Oh, it is just my instrument. I'm a bard. He forces a half smile to the rest of us. I'd play it for you all, but it's been a long day. Well, what's wrong? I'm probably just overreacting. It's nothing too bad. He let off a small sigh for looking down his near-empty tea. Oh, no, I want to hear it. Well, I would play it, but the innkeeper says I cannot. Not tonight. Why's that? I played all the joke on the new bar tonight. He chuckles a bit at the memory, before he turned to the realization of his unintended consequence. I messed with the tune on his instrument when he wasn't looking. Just tighten the strings a bit. I thought it'd be funny to see him play off tune. Honestly, it matches the mood more, at least I think so. Easy fix. But he was not happy and someone pointed at me. They must have seen me do it. I thought it was funny, at least. The innkeep says I can't play now. Oh, That's not fair. Cameyo frowned towards the innkeeper, who was now too far away to hear the conversation. Seeing Fenrir's fascination, Cora feels inclined to comment. Perhaps you could place the team tomorrow when we leave town. It does not have to be here. Cameyo lights up at Cora's comment. That's nice to hear. I'd love to play someone a song. We are leaving tomorrow already? I don't rightly know, but it would not surprise me. There's always something to be done. Hi, I'm Keel, by the way. Well, I know about you, Cora, haven't I? You know to our introductions one by one as we say hellos. I look forward to tomorrow, but for now I'll finish my tea. Tomorrow will be a great day. Cameyo smiles wide for an unexpected yawn takes hold of him. I think a lot of us could use some good rest first. See you all tomorrow. That chapter's a bit longer than expected, so what we're going to do is we're going to end with chapter 3 here, and in the week we'll have the whole of chapter 4 up. So there'll be more Moonfire coming very soon, and also the plan for next weekend is to have more Nevin. That's the plan, as I say, but I am waiting for the public builder Cameyo, so when that comes out I might have to change the schedule, but we'll see what happens with that. But as I say, definitely Moonfire in the week. We have some chapter 4 already recorded, so we'll definitely be doing that. And quick before I go, as always, thanks to all my donors on Ko-fi and Patreon. You are very much appreciated. And my top patrons are Andy Peng, Aaron Fox, Bastian, Bieka, Brian Hall, Cobus Visser, Dissonance, Sexac, Grizz, Arvis Mouse Productions, Ida Corval, Evan King, Kartek, Matt Kenya, Mario Cervantes, Omar, Rafu, Spiderling, Samuto, Tiger Cub, Ara Amaterasu, Opus Need Coffee, Addy Bear, Coob, Greylock, and Lark Huskerton. So thanks to all of you and everyone who donates. So yes, that is it for now. Chapter 4 will follow soon. Bye for now.